Welcome one and all to the Jeddah Corniche Circuit here in Saudi Arabia. We're back here 2 days in a row as things stand, and we're here for a sort of a guide to the track as you might see, racing around the 6.174 kilometers, 27 corners, the out and back circuit as we described it yesterday in the Hotlap and setup video. Make sure you check that out if you haven't seen it just yet. Quite a good video, I think, in my opinion. But nevertheless, you can make your own mind up about that one if you go and have a look. It'll be in the top right of your screen as things stand. But we'll have a look at that lap. Today's more sort of a guide, having a look at a bit of racing as well. We'll go through the setup again after the hot lap. But yeah, make sure you check out yesterday's videos to get a little more insight into the lap itself. Down into turn one, you want to really get on both of the curbs there to open up the exit. Third gear, use all the track available to you now as you head down towards turn number 4 and really into this first sector. Throw the car in, keeping in the 5th gear, using all the track. And again, it's the white lines beyond the curbs. That's your track limits. Treat these as one flowing corner. Up in the 7th gear, using the curbs as well. And you keep a nice smooth line. Sort of bold steering changes, you don't want to be erratic, you want to be confident on the wheel, especially for those harsh direction changes. Down towards the big hairpin now, 4th gear, keep it nice and tight on the inside, run the car wide, because that allows you to get the pattern a little bit earlier, get better drive, down towards the next sort of far chicane of this lap. 5th gear is the gear of choice for the next one. Don't go up at 8, down 2, keep it nice and tight on the inside and use all the curb there on the inside available to you to really get a nice wide exit. Again, getting on the power earlier, more speed, because it's all about momentum in this lap. Super key now. No DRS course like in real life. Heading down towards this next chicane. 6th gear is our gear. Throw it into the inside. Get on the power really early. Again, you can use all that curbing available to you. We use a little bit there, which you probably want to avoid because it actually is rumbled rather than just sort of the flat ones that we see elsewhere around the lap. Down towards the final corner now. One more braking zone to think about. Hopefully we can avoid Max Verstappen and mess up the exit. But we do go a little bit deep into the corner, lose a little bit of time there. Get the power. It is a nice smooth exit out of the final corner, running towards the line. But that is going to be a 1 minute 26.774 as we cross the line now, which put us 350 in the world average time according, which is pretty good. Well inside the top 1%. So definitely a lap time to be happy about. Hopefully, sort of gives you a few little guides here and there. But as you can see, 350th in the world at the time of recording, and they're the only person to do a 774. Which I'm pretty happy with. And again, I talked about this yesterday, but compared to sort of people I'm sort of friends with on PlayStation, I'm pretty happy with that lap. It's very competitive. I'm friends with a lot of very competitive people out and about. But the setup we went through it yesterday, but it's 8.5 for the downforce, 100%, 53% for the on throttle and off throttle. Suspension geometry, maximum front camber, minimum rear camber, really helping sort of traction for the rear, but then also turning for the front. And the toe relatively low on both. And then suspension soft overall. We've gone a little bit stiffer on the rear, and just help with sort of keep getting our power and sort of keeping that rear a little bit more stable. And then just soft overall just for the some of the slopies, but also just making sure we avoid a bit of understeer through some of the quite high demanding chicanes we have across the lap. 100%, 50% is our brake bias and pressure, and then tyres absolutely stiff as they can go. All about that straight line speed. We're gonna have a look at a little bit of a race scenario now. Just see how we can unpick that. It's against 110 AI, around a 5-lap race around here. It's lights out and away we go. Racing as Lewis Hamilton. It's been an okay start. Max Verstappen already to our left-hand side. We're going to try to go around the outside of Perez though, but there's been contact on our inside. We then move on to P2, just behind our teammate Valtteri Bottas. Alonso seems to have got through the car job, but you look on the minimap, there's an absolute sort of gaggle of cars all clustered behind that little incident we saw. Have a look at what happened. We'll keep with ourselves and Bottas for the time being. You see, just through this first sector, just unable to really keep with him, and maybe lacking a little bit of confidence, just jumping straight into a race, it seems. But have a look at what happened down at turn. But it's actually the AI who have an incident all of their own. Verstappen down the inside, late on the brakes, hits his teammate Sergio Perez, and we saw this in real life. Turn 1 can cause incidents, and the AI is exactly the same. It is just a warning that you need to be careful on these race starts. But have a look at an on-board from Max Verstappen. He has a really good restart. Overtake enabled straight away. Parking it around side because we're there. Going to set it down the inside like he does in real life. But contact with his teammate. And then that sort of, I think we helped push Perez around. But the incident's already happened by that point. Alonso getting through. Have a look at the onboard from Lando Norris. And we see Fernando Alonso come through as well. He manages to overtake. He gets a really good start. It's almost Norris has caught up behind us. Alonso follows us through. And there you see Max Verstappen down the inside. Alonso round the outside. A little bit of clip on Perez. But you see that turn 1, it's a bit like Vietnam in my opinion from last year's game. It's going to be so crucial just to keep it clean. We moved on later into this race, challenging our teammate Valtteri Bottas. And that DRS and slipstream so powerful around this circuit. We really can see that come into play. I feel, in league races and any of your sort of online careers. This first sector is very demanding, very difficult to follow. Especially against the 100 Ti, they've got great commitment through these corners, and they're pretty sort of consistent each lap. You see Bottas just eking himself away, but not far enough to get inside the DRS range, and that's the crucial thing. Because unlike in real life, you've got a DRS zone here, which helps keep you in play, and then you get the slipstream down, of course, where you get DRS in real life. Into the big demanding hairpin banking, helping us out. And, well, Bottas running a lot wider than we were there, helping get a better team. 8 tenths clear of us now. It was about around 5 tenths of a second at the start of the lap, and now, of course, the DRS zone. Where the DRS zone should be, we're going to get a slipstream. That is going to help us. Bit of overtake enabled as well, just to help keep us with our Finnish teammate, racing down towards that very demanding chicane, of course, where Mick Schumacher crashed in the race. Throw the car, you've got to do your best to keep with him. So we keep well within track limits on this occasion, but currently almost a second back, but well within that DRS zone. Go on board now as the challenging our teammate really reeled him in, actually. Just that sort of DRS and ERS enabled really helped pull us in. Round the outside and to final corner. Bottas, though, not giving up on the inside. The inside seems to be a much more favourable place. Pleasure to go for a move on this one and actually help you defend. It's quite easy to defend, but of course, Bottas getting ahead means we get DRS and heading down towards turn number 1 on the final lap of the race. It's our turn to defend for the final lap. How much can we push away in this first sector versus the AI behind us will be quite interesting to see as we now push onwards. Of course, Bottas about half a second behind us. Throw the car into turn 4, using 4th gear there. And just look, we're gaining time on him quite a bit as we now work our way through these sort of long flowing corners. You want to treat almost each double corner as one corner, keep it nice and flowing. But Bottas keeping with us much better than we were able to, and it's half a second is the delta between ourselves and our Mercedes teammate, down in towards the heavy braking zone of the hairpin. Corner I seem to struggle, especially against the AI. Bottas gaining on us quite massively. The gap is 3 tenths of a second now. Lucky there's no DRS zone in the next straight, because I think, well, he could be past. The gap less than 2 tenths now. Throw it into the chicane. Really demanding everything from this Mercedes and this setup. Not the most amount of overtake in the world to defend with the gap less than 2 tenths of a second now as we bouncing off the wheels a little bit, just trying to see what we can do to put off our teammate. Throw it into the chicane. Lots of commitment there, using all the track and a little bit more. And Bottas still gaining. The AI got such good commitment, even in the dirty air. They're able to keep with you. This is obviously 110 AI, and I'm probably not quite a 110 AI player, but we'll see about that all tomorrow. Final corner now. We could have a repeat of a knock on Bottas incident here. We go a little bit deep, but almost break a little bit deeper into the corner. Helps bring the front in. Get a really good exit. ERS enabled on the run towards the line. Bottas, unfortunately for him, can't quite do what he did on Esteban Ocon, and it is the win from third on the grid. And it's a victory for the Silver Arrows, as David Croft has just said.
Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions and perfecting the team's strategies. They got all of these things right today, and the results speak for themselves.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
As David Croft said, winners 1-2 with Alonso jumping on the podium just like he did in Qatar. But we're going to see about this tomorrow, because I'm going to put out a 100% race against the AI. Lost the first challenge with Lewis Hamilton once again. But the important thing about Jeddah, turn 1 is going to be very, very difficult. And keeping close in that dirty air because the slipstream and DRS is so powerful. Hope this has been enjoyable, informative. I'll see you all tomorrow for the 100% race.